they want to change Bitcoin. Everything you were promised about Bitcoin is being renegotiated right now. And it's not government doing it. It's not the haters. It's coming from inside, from the people who build and maintain Bitcoin itself. Two proposals are on the table. One breaks a promise. The other breaks the promise. And by the end of this video, you'll see exactly what each one does to the price, down to the dollar. So watch this, and I have a $250,000 giveaway that you'll need to watch the video till the end. Now, let's look at this. $68 billion. That's what Satoshi Nakamoto is about to lose. Not to hackers, not to the government, to Bitcoin. Because right now, today, the people who maintain Bitcoin are debating whether to freeze the founder's coin forever, and another group, serious people, not trolls, wants to kill the 21 million cap and print 4% new Bitcoin every year. Forever. If you hold Bitcoin, both of these debates are about your money, and by the end of this video, you will see exactly what happens to the price in every scenario, because one of them cuts your stack in half, and one of them actually could send it to new all-time highs. So let's see what we are talking about. So here's actually what's on the table. A real formal draft written by Jensen Loop, Cypherpunk, royalty 5 years after activation. Every coin that hasn't moved to a quantum safe address gets frozen, dead, unspendable. That's against everything Satoshi defended. 1.1 million coins and up to 7 million total, a third of all Bitcoin that will ever exist. That's it. And proposal number 2, July 7, it was this week. That's why I'm doing this video. The CEO and co-founder of Zcash, Eli Ben Sanson, one of the most cited cryptographers alive, says the 21 million cap doesn't make sense and proposed 4% issuance every year. Bitcoin today prints 0.8. He wants 4. That is more inflation than Dogecoin. And no, I'm not making either of these up. Why would anyone suggest this? It's easy. Because of a clock. March 2026, Google quantum team published the number that changed everything. Breaking Bitcoin cryptographic might take under 500,000 qubits. Too technical, the old estimate was 20 times higher. Today, the best machines have about 2,500, so nobody's cracking your wallet tonight. But Google wants its own system, quantum safe, by 2029, and the NSA wants in 2030. And remember this, BlackRock already wrote quantum risk into their Bitcoin ETF. 6 million coins are sitting on-chain with their keys exposed. $377 billion of loot. And the first quantum computer that works doesn't send a press release. It just starts spending. Now let's talk about the 4% madness. It attacks Bitcoin's other dirty secret, the security budget. Miners project the network and we pay them with new coins plus fees. Fees today, 101% of miner income. Dust. And the new coins get cut in half every 4 years, the 4-year cycle. Remember that everyone is debating if you'll mark the bottom now or not. That's the 4-year cycle. And that will be 2028, 2032, sorry, until 2140. I hit 0. So the question is, who pays the army when the printer stops? Ethereum's Justin Drake gave the honest answer. Add inflation or move to proof of stake. And both, quote, cultural non-starters understand this. These are not attacks on Bitcoin. These are Bitcoin on defenders admitting one thing that I've been saying for a long time. The 2009 design has 2 unanswered questions. Now, the part you actually came for. What does all of this do to the price? Now let's go back to the truth. The debate alone is already a market force. When BlackRock added quantum risk to its ETF filing, the market shrugged. When CZ mused about freezing Satoshi coins, headlines everywhere, but the price barely blinked. When Ben Sanson dropped the 4% post, outrage, memes, no candle. FUD headlines like this historically cost 5 to 10% on a bad day, and they get bought back within weeks. That's stage 1. And we are leaving it, but approval, it's a different universe. So Let's run the simulations. But before I press this button, 30 seconds, because I told you I'll be giving away $250,000. I'm literally giving away money. You are about to watch scenarios that can nuke a portfolio. So here's my advice. Don't trade markets like this. With your capital, Bitfunded gives you a funded account. You trade their capital, your stacks stay safe, and if you are good, you get paid for it. And this week, I'm giving away 50 free accounts. 50. Link is in the description. Let's now continue breaking Bitcoin. Now let's look at the scenarios that I was talking about. First simulation. Two forces collide and both are right. The bear case, Bitcoin just confiscated coins, not your key, is that as a slogan. Institutions panic and we get a civil war fork like Bitcoin Cash in 2017. Initial damage minus 30 to 40%, down into the low 40,000. Those calling for 40,000 will finally be right. But here's the bull case nobody prices in. 7 million coins frozen means the real supply just dropped to about 14 million. Same demand, a third less. Bitcoin chart recovers mechanically, and that's, I would say, a plus 40%. $90,000. If trust survives the confiscation, the freeze is a coin flip between a crash and a supply shock, and the timing decides who wins. But then there's scenario 2. 4% forever. And I'll be honest with you, this one has no bull case. 800,000 new coins a year. That's almost the entire remaining supply until 2140. Printed every single year. Stock to flow collapses from 120 to 25. Worse than gold. Every corporate treasury, every ETF, every digital gold pitch deck on earth bought exactly one thing. Absolute scarcity. Kill the cap and you don't get a correction. You get a repricing. 60 to 80% down. 12, finally maybe we'll see the 12K to $25. And the chain forks anyway, because millions of holders will never follow the new rules. This is the scenario where Bitcoin doesn't crash. It stops being Bitcoin. And there's a risk for this. Now, another scenario. Do nothing. The one that keeps Lop awake at night. We change nothing. And the quantum computer arrives. 6 million coins start moving silently, the largest threat in human history. $377 billion unfolding live on-chain and nobody can stop it. Compare the panics. COVID minus 50% in 2 days. FTX minus 25 in a week. This beats both. Because it doesn't break a company. It breaks the math. Minus 50 to 70% overnight. Exchanges freeze withdrawals and then we do the emergency fork anyway. On fire in a weekend with no plan. Every road leads to the fork. The only question is whether we walk there or get dragged. This proposal do not mean Bitcoin is dying. They mean set it and forget it is dead. The fixed supply and not your keys were never laws of physics. They were a vote, held every single day. And in 2026, the voters are nervous. Your job is not to panic. Your job is to know the scenarios before the market prices them. That's why I do this. That's why I did with seller before he sell. The people saw the merge coming, the ETFs coming, the halving coming. They didn't read about it after the candle. So free Satoshi, print 4%, or pray the labs stay quiet. Let me know what you think about this. Because when this debate hits the mempool, the Banter firm, you already be positioned. I'll see you in the next one.